What's good, y'all? It's your boy Cold Blooded, and we back with another one, man. Let's get it. So off the rip, as promised, we got your boy Riddick Bowe. I got the fight on the side for reference, but I'm not gonna hold you, man. I probably chose the wrong fight to watch while trying to emulate this dude, because the fight, he's so aggressive in the real thing, and it's really hard to apply that kind of pressure in this game. You just get stunned too often, especially if your connection isn't proper with your opponent. The ghost punching, the desyncing. There's too much times where you try to get busy and then you end up just stuck, and you don't even know why. Your guy just stops being responsive. Now, that being said, there are some things to note in this fight in particular that I want to take note of. I do try to get the pressure going. You're going to see I shove a lot. I know people hate the shoving in this game, but I'm not spamming with it. There's a purpose why I do it. He's not spamming me with power punches, anything like that, so that's not why I'm doing it. I'm trying to get him cornered, man, and it's really hard to corner somebody. And as you see, I'm watching Bowe on the other screen, and he got his Bowe in the corner. So I'm trying to get Usyk in the corner. Now, real fast, pay attention to what I'm doing here. Notice how I'm cutting off the ring. I'm moving side to side a lot before I start to try to really engage and get forward. There's a video I did a year ago. A lot of that information is still pertinent now. You want to get that straight line, that 180-degree angle to your opponent in order to get that speed boost. So you're going to see me move sideways a lot, just try to slice the ring before I apply that pressure. Leading with the jab, push, another 1-2. Surprised I didn't shove again. If I was actually playing right now, I think I would have shoved again. There it is again right there, and 1-2. A good body work by Usyk there. And you see how it just kind of stuns me? It locks me up. That's why it's really hard for me to kind of like just get in there and keep them respectful. Usually, the first round of this game, damn, desync right there, crazy. So usually I notice in the first couple rounds in this game, before your opponents or even you start to get like in the red health range, it's really hard to gain respect. A lot of times when you guys are in close and y'all mixing, y'all throwing punches at the same time, y'all just trading shots. It's not until later in the fight when the opponent has some cuts, some swelling, or every other punch starts to really hurt the guy that you start to get the respect. Then he sees his health drop, and he'll start to pick his hands up more, and it starts to replicate a real fight at that point. But up until you get to that point, the fights can look kind of janky at first. They can kind of look very rock'em sock'em ish up until that point, depending on who it is you're playing against or who you're playing with, and so on and so forth. I want to get into psychology of this fight in particular, though. Some things that are probably presenting themselves because of the push. Now, the push is kind of cheesy, but generally it does serve a purpose. So like Bowe has longer arms than Usyk, obviously. The range Usyk has to be in to throw a punch is the range that Bowe can be in, or rather the Usyk has to be in to land a punch is the range that Bowe can be in to get a shove, and I can actually land punches outside of that. So although I'm using a Bowe fight in reference where he's actually throwing a lot of short shots, just the nature of my mind frame where I'm just trying to get full extension, I'm trying to get those 1-2s off, and so anytime Usyk gets within range to actually land, I'm just pushing. And to me, what that's going to do is it's going to take away his best weapons. If he realizes that I'm shoving within the range that he can jab at, which, by the way, he has the perk that gives him the extra power on the jab, then he'll jab less and he'll try to get in closer more and throw hooks and things like that. Also, I believe he has the trait that gives him, I think he gets reduced damage off of punches he does standing still, and he does an increase of damage in any directional punches he throws. So if I'm constantly pushing him off balance, he's not able to actually implement those directional shots. And obviously, if he's trying to get in close to throw the short stuff, he's no longer using the jab and the other shit that he's good for. Now, finally, all of that is irrelevant at this point because he's not actually using Usyk to his strengths anyway. Back to the fight. You'll notice I go southpaw with Bowe. Not really something that he actually does, even in a fight in reference or in real life in particular. I did it just as a way to try to get Usyk to drop his hands a bit more. If you notice, when I go southpaw, the power lead hook to the body comes out instant. It also shortens his straight a lot, and the straight comes out instantly as well. His punches pretty much start to feel like Sergio Martinez's, if any, or who else is it's not a. If you've used Riguru, Progress, you know what I'm talking about, the way his punches feel. That's kind of the way Bowe's feel when you go southpaw. My idea is try to get that right hook to the body more often, make him respect the body work, make him drop his hands more often. This way I can actually try to emulate what it is I'm seeing when he got the screen and get some more work up top. But right now he's just exclusively blocking the top. So it's, yeah, I just got to take the body, get him respect the body, and then maybe I can start working to the top the way I would like to do. So overall, I don't think I'm having any issues in the fight at all. Obviously, the rounds seem to be in the bag for your boy. I'm landing the better shots right now. I'm landing the most shots right now. But I'm just trying to implement a strategy that's more or less foreign to me. I'm used to fighting on the back foot, and then just trying to take the center of the ring and spin my guy. So playing with Bowe is definitely a different task altogether. He does feel really, really dope to play with, though. He's got some good range. A bit slow, but I do feel like he's powerful. He's got some good power on his stuff. He's got an overhand with the moving forward right hook. There it is, right there. So he's got some stuff that I really like to try to use. I'm just not really good at landing all this good stuff yet. Now, a lot of the good stuff I didn't even have to use. So you're going to notice there's a certain array of punches that I throw. So there's the cookie cutter stuff that I throw at every fighter because they just work. I have my patented combinations, and I don't really break the mold here with Bowe. But there's some other stuff you're going to see me do. You're going to see me lead with the right hook more often. You're going to see me lead with just to single the jab way more often on the press. The reason is whatever direction your opponent is moving, if you throw the appropriate punch to whatever direction he's moving, it's going to bleed through the block, be it straight, be it around, whatever. It always bleeds through the block. It just so happened Usyk kept rolling to his own left, so he kept rolling to my right. And so at some point in the fight, you're going to see me just kind of just put the right hand out there just because he's rolling into it. It's always going to give me a connect. And I was hoping that maybe he would notice it and he'd fix it. Shit, at one point, I think I paused the game and even told him. It might have been after the fight. I even told him, like, bro, I'm throwing the right hand because you're walking into it. You got to take that shit away from me. Jab miss, push misses. There we go, shove again. Trying to get him into the corner right now. So you see, it's obvious I'm trying to get him into the corner so I can work. Backing up, don't let him walk it. Yep. There we go, keeping my distance. Not really letting the hands go, just trying to make him uncomfortable. Letting him know, listen, if you try to get off, there's a shove there. Something's gonna break the combination. There we go, uppercut. Hook overhand, push. I was a bit pushy there without throwing any punches in return. Just trying to get him in the corner, man. Just really trying to find a situation where I can make this look at least something like what's going on the other screen. The game does not flow like that. You do chess matches and things like that, you can get real good representation. But in terms of just getting in there and just mixing, I don't think any game reflects the real thing yet. There's also the fact that there isn't a clinch yet. There's just a push. Like, if you watch the real fight, he just shoved Bowe. So that's a real big thing to do when you're cornered. Listen, that's realistic in itself. It's just, it feels, that stun mechanism, when you just feel like you have no control of your character, that happens a lot with punches in this. It happens so frequently when you're shoved that it really just, yeah, it just leaves a sour taste. So I know people don't like to push too much, but listen, it's not unrealistic. I know a lot of fighters shove, a lot of fighters fall in and then shove and get out. Just, I guess, how you use it matters. So I'm losing a jab battle right there. I'm honestly, just this round, I seem to be losing the battle just in general. He's landing on me when I try to land on him. I'm whiffing shots. I'm not getting a good sense of my range. Combos not landing. Yeah, I see my body health pop up. A bit of a desync issue, but once I see the body health come up, I know he landed. Good combination right there. So yeah, it's time to change something. I'm not really comfortable. So you see I back up, trying to bait him into throwing to the wind. Here we go, jab, 1, 2 to 3 misses, and you see me circling back and forth. Just a way of trying to trap him in that center line. It gets ugly sometimes. I really can't find the angle, but I just wanted to line him up. Here we go. So you start to see me holding the right bumper and the right trigger now, and trying to land the power shots from the guard. Just something to keep him guessing, and then maybe force a lean back. And there you go right there. Jab from the guard. Jab from the guard again. I pay for this time, and beautiful counter. And that's more or less what I'm looking for. Just an opportunity to lean back and get a counter. And in this instance, it worked perfectly. Now, I mentioned before, respect matters. So it does take time. Oh, damn. Even in a real fight, he got him hurt around the same time. Yeah, look at that. So it does matter. Finally getting him hurt is probably going to open up everything that I've been waiting to do since the opening bell. Because now he knows he can be hurt. There might be some respect there. He might not want that to happen again. Maybe now he'll disengage more and put me on a hunt, and I can start to like get busy the way I'm seeing and Bowe get busy in the actual fight. And he immediately walks toward me, takes a step back. He's holding his ground now, leaning, backing up. All right, yeah. So now I'm liking this. Now I'm like, okay, now I can kind of mix the way the real fight is looking a little bit. And that's more or less adds to my point. When the fights first start, things can get kind of rock'em sock'em-ish. You guys do trade. It's not till later when somebody actually puts an exclamation point somewhere that things can start to look a bit more realistic. So you're going to see me start really using that right hand now. This is me using the right hand because that's the direction you keep circling in. You're going to hear the small smack whenever I throw it. Let's see if I can do it again. Yep. So that's just an indicator that it's landing. When you hear that sound, you feel the controller vibrate. Trust me, it got through. When you see the stats, it'll say you landed the punch, and it'll have a block point for him as well. So stuff just bleed through the block. Yep. And you could argue that I'm doing a lot of it, but I'm not spamming it. I'm not throwing 2 for 1 or 2 back to back. I'm just throwing singular. I'm trying to take it. I'm trying to show him that, listen, this is an easy land. Take it away from me. And he's not doing it. He, instead of like switching it, he's doing the same thing. I don't know if there's desync. I don't know if on his screen that's not landing. But on my screen, I'm like, bro, there it is again. Why are you walking into it? Good counter from him right there. There it is again. Again. Left hook that time. Good counter by Usyk. Oh, beautiful work by Usyk right there. All with the left hand. But yeah, as you see, it's just a matter of like, I'm going to show it to you. And if you're not going to take it away, I'm going to use it. It's a means of victory. Let's see what he does here. Start off with the jab. See, now I jab so much more to the body now. It's funny watching myself play at this point. I do dedicated jab to the body a lot more now. But then again, I don't know. Maybe with Bowe in this situation, I probably wouldn't. Good jabbing by Usyk though. High, low. Yeah, it was forcing me to try to move my head. Yeah. Just a different look. I don't actually enjoy doing this. It's just a different look. If anybody's curious, I use the paddles when I play. I have paddles in the back of my controller, so I do not know how awkward the lean mechanic feels or the dodge mechanic feels on the stick, because I don't use a stick. There we go, first overhand. Oh man, it was perfectly timed too. That should have been like a knockout or something, or knockdown at least, maybe a rock moment. Oh yeah, as you see, I'm getting busy. Everything is just flowing now. At this point, I pretty much know what to do and what not to do, and I'm just kind of having my way with the guy. It's looking like the real thing now. And go figure, in the real fight, that boy hurt. This is like the second fight I've done now where the shit reflects at the right time. Going to the body now. Hook to the head again. Hook to the head again. And he's going in the opposite direction now finally, but then he cuts back. Circles to the center of the ring. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys an idea what he actually should do there. It's actually better. So one thing I see he's not doing, he's not going into loose movement. So he's never gonna outrun me. It's actually better if you try to hold your ground and just cue up a back step. Get me whiffing the first couple shots before you move. And I'll explain why. It's just a matter of steps, man. You want to be able to use, if you're going to back up, you want to use the entire ring, right? So look, I'm nowhere near you. You're already on the ropes. So now when I actually get to you, where do you have to run? Look, he's already there. He should just back up just enough to get out of punch range, and then back up again, and so on and so forth. Just keep moving when it's appropriate. But if you're gonna go to the other side of the ring, you're already setting your own trap. So now he's in a situation he wants to stand ground, and the overhand hits, and yeah. So that's a big thing I see a lot in this game with people who play and who try to move laterally. Y'all give too much of the ring up. Just get out of range. If you're where he cannot hit you, you're safe. And then move accordingly. But if you're just gonna go from one side of the ring to the other, you keep setting your own trap.